days when nothing seemed quite right, but something about them days with you always make the sky so blue, always seem to make the world so bright. 'Cause it's magic when we're together, sun shining on the weather, magic when I am here with you, and I'm yours.
Commission meeting. Ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Chairman Trainee.
Here.
Commissioner Dearman is absent. Commissioner Rowe.
Here.
Commissioner Lopez.
Here.
Commissioner Wong.
Yep. Here.
Commissioner Stewart.
Here.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is unscheduled public appearances. Any unscheduled public appearances for the Housing Commission? Seeing none, Commission, there is a consent agenda with 5 items on it. What is your pleasure?
Sure.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes, I move for the approval of the Public Housing Authority Commission for Monday, June 25th.
Second. We have a motion by Commissioner Lopez, a second by Commissioner Hartke for approval of the 5 consent agenda items. Further discussion? Clerk, please poll the commission.
Commissioner Rowe.
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes.
Commissioner Wong.
Yes.
Commissioner Hartke. Yes. Commissioner Stewart.
Here. Yes.
Chairman Trainee.
Here. Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay. With that, we will adjourn the Public Housing Commission meeting. Good evening. Welcome to the Chandler City Council study session of Monday, June 25th. Council, we do have a number of scheduled public appearances, so I would ask Council Member Rowe to join me out front of the dais. Okay, first scheduled public appearance this evening is Service Recognition Awards. I'd like to ask City Manager Marcia Reed to begin the presentation. We will have 3 employees from the Police Department receiving awards tonight. With that, Marcia.
Thank you, Mayor. I would ask Police Chief Sean Duggan to come forward and make those presentations.
Well, good evening, Mayor, members of council. Tonight, I'd like to ask Detective Nan Rather to come forward to celebrate her 15 years of service with the City of Chandler. So Nan began her career with the Chandler PD back in September 1998, and she served, you can go right there, and she served 4 years in the Patrol Division before transitioning to the Community Services Division to work as a school resource officer and then later as a DARE officer. In 2004, though, Nan actually resigned from the department in order to pursue outside interests. However, she remained committed to serving the citizens of Chandler and stayed on as a reserve officer. And then back in 2008, she returned to the department full-time as a police officer and served for the next 6 years in patrol, where she was selected to be a gang liaison officer, where she spent countless hours working to combat the effects of criminal street gangs in our neighborhoods. And then in 2014, her hard work paid off when she was selected as a detective in the Special Victims Unit. And over the last 4 years, Nan has worked diligently to find justice for the most vulnerable class of victims. In fact, she often volunteers her own time to assist various nonprofit organizations which provide aid to victims across Arizona. And throughout her career, Nan has been recognized for her commitment to quality service, her positive attitude, and her willingness to help others, earning the respect of her coworkers and her supervisors alike. So Nan, thank you for 15 years of service and everything you've done to help make our community a better place. I would now like to ask April Long Blanchard to come forward to recognize her 20 years of service with the City of Chandler. April serves as an analyst in the department's Crime Analysis and Research Unit. And throughout her 20 years with the department, she's held a variety of different assignments, including records clerk, planning assistant, and records supervisor. In her current role, April produces exemplary crime maps, statistical analysis, forecasting, research patterns and trends, and other various reports. And April actually has dual membership with the International Association of Crime Analysts and the Arizona Association of Crime Analysts, where she serves on the board as a member at large. April holds a master's degree in, well, with distinction, in business administration and a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies and public management, both from NAU. Over the past 20 years, April has garnered many accolades from her supervisors as well as her peers and consistently goes out of her way to help others. She has demonstrated her dedication to the City of Chandler through her professionalism, her commitment to quality work, and the pride she takes in her work. So April, thank you for 20 years of service, and again, everything that you've done to make a difference and help our city be the amazing city that it is. So congratulations. And now I'd like to ask Officer Tina Boltwits to come forward in recognition of her 20 years of service with the city. So Tina joined the department back in 1998 and initially worked patrol where she sharpened her skills and developed a reputation as a dedicated and talented officer. A few years later, her hard work paid off when she was selected to become a detective investigating property crimes and then later financial crimes. And over the years, Tina has proudly represented our department as a member of the Honor Guard and as a member of our recruitment team. And for the past 5 years, Tina has served as the Main Precinct Crime Prevention Officer, a position that she has absolutely elevated to new heights. And just to be honest with you, it's kind of difficult to measure the impact that Tina's had on our community. But I'll give one example, and that's the Guardian Academy. That's a program that she created to provide guardians of children the education and resources that promote and reinforce healthy relationships and communication within families. The fact is, Tina has been a high performer for the past 20 years. She has received numerous awards and accolades and has served her community with distinction. And on top of all that, she presently serves our country as a Command Sergeant Major in the United States Army Reserve, where she has served for the past 28 years. So Tina, thank you for all your hard work and your commitment and dedication to our city and our country. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Okay, next scheduled public appearance this evening is City of Chandler Professional Development Program Graduates Recognition. I'd like to call up Deb Stapleton, Director of our Human Resources Division, to make the presentation.
Evening, and thank you, Mayor and City Council, City Manager, for the opportunity to present our 5th graduating class of our professional development program. And I'm going to call them up in just a moment, but just to give you a little bit of background on the program. The goal of this particular program was to build leadership and bench strength within our organization to support our goals of professional development and succession management planning. There were 9 workshops, and what we did a little bit differently this time is we had a variety of different facilitators that really was very effective in the diversity of the presentations. One particular facilitator who was new was a gentleman by the name of Jamie Kassap, who works for Google and did a presentation on innovation in Gen Z. And his title, I love this title, by the way, Google Education Evangelist. I want that title, Human Resources Event. Okay, so the time frame was February through June of 18. There were 15 members from various city departments. Their tenure ranged 1 year from 17 years. Probably one of the most beneficial things that I heard was the relationships that they built with people from the other departments that they would otherwise not have an opportunity to meet. So it was a very, very successful program. They grew their leadership strengths, their knowledge of the city. They had very deep and very critical discussions about leadership, and it was great. So on behalf of myself and Beth Chapelski, who could not be here tonight, who is our organizational development coordinator, who coordinated this program and facilitated it, I would just like to thank the mayor and council and the city manager and her office for the support of these programs and congratulate the graduates. So I'm going to call them up. Some of them are not in attendance tonight, but I'll just go through the list. And as you hear your name, if you can come up. Amy Jacobson from Neighborhood Resources. Battalion Chief Bloss Miner from Fire. Dan Lee from Community Services. Jaya Valagapudi from Development Services. Joe Petrella from Community Services. John Ardans from Public Works and Utilities. Kevin Mayo from Development Services. Larry Yonker from Administrative Services. Chris Cooper from Police. Lou Guerrero from Administrative Services. Michelle McLennan from Community Services. Raylan Nielsen from Administrative Services. Rosemary Horvath from Law. Brian Peters from Intergovernmental Affairs. And Stephen Erno from Neighborhood Resources. So please give them a round of applause for the investment.
Okay. Next item is a recognition, Healthy Arizona Worksite Gold Medal Award. The Healthy Arizona Worksite Award recognizes employers for their efforts to support employee health and wellness. There are 3 levels of the award: copper, silver, and gold. For the second time, City of Chandler has achieved the coveted gold designation. I'd like to call up Chandler Wellness Coordinator, Cara Boley, to accept the award and talk a little bit more about the program. And in her absence, we're going to have Deb Stapleton, back by popular. You might get that Google title, yeah.
I apologize. I think there was a miscommunication on our part of the schedule. So this is the second year that we have won this award. Cara Boley is our wellness coordinator. She's been with the city for about a year and a half and has worked marvels with this particular wellness program. She's the one that you'll hear on the mezzanine every Tuesday night with the music really loud, doing the workouts with our city employees. So we're very proud to be able to have the support from this agency for the second year in a row. And with that, I'm happy to accept the offer on their part.
Great. Thank you.
Do I get a picture too?
Sure.
All right. I know. Nothing to present.
Give me the Google award.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, next item is a proclamation for Parks and Recreation Month. I'd like to call up Parks and Recreation Board member Paul Rose And somewhere we have a proclamation to read. There it is.
Okay, a proclamation. Whereas the City of Chandler's parks, natural areas, playgrounds, play fields, recreation programs, and community and aquatic centers make Chandler an attractive and desirable place to live, work, play, and visit while contributing to its ongoing quality of life. And whereas our local parks, recreation, and aquatic facilities are leaders in protecting open space, connecting citizens of all ages to nature and healthy outdoor fun. And whereas the enjoyment of our natural splendors allows us to celebrate the commitment to our city and state to conserve and protect our air, water, wildlife, and our lands, and contribute to conservation efforts through education and programs that engage our communities. And whereas Park and Recreation Month allows us to celebrate the partnership of state and local agencies, the recreation and tourism industries, and recreationists who provide rewarding experiences that improve the physical, mental, and emotional health of all citizens. Now, therefore, our Mayor, J. Tib Shirani, does hereby proclaim July 2018 as Park and Recreation Month and encourages all citizens to celebrate by participating in their choice of recreation and outdoor activities in the company of family and the company of old and new friends.
Well, I do have just a few words, and to begin with, I'd like to thank you, Mayor, for all the support, and to the City Council, each member, and especially the Parks and Recreation staff. It's a great park program we have here. I'll read these. I myself have witnessed 41 years of growth and progress in the city. So I've been here for a while. And this park system represents right at the time 60 parks, including Tumbleweed Recreation Center. We also have 6 aquatic centers. We have an environmental education center, a community center, senior center, and even a downtown performance stage. It's really the best I've ever seen in terms of parks and recreation, hands down. And that includes going all the way back to my hometown in Champaign, Illinois, which had all the way back into the 1950s, tremendous parks. And so our city deserves every bit of recognition that we receive, and that includes 11 consecutive years named as the Playful City USA. And recently, another particular designation, 6 consecutive years, is Tree City USA. Going on, this month, as has been mentioned, the month of July is Parks and Recreation Month. And there are a number of events planned, and we do anticipate very good turnout and participation throughout the city. As an example, there's a particular event, called an Instagram scavenger hunt. That tells me you have to have a smartphone or something. It's going to take place throughout the downtown streets. For citizens and residents to be fully informed, I recommend you go to chandleraz.gov and go to the Parks tab, and you'll be impressed. Also, the city scope letter, which you're a big part of, there's plenty of information that comes out of that. And finally, and this is a little bit off that, but it has to do with boards and commissions here. But in terms of the Parks and Recreation Board, if you ever have a thought about wanting to serve on a board, this is a good one to get on. At this time, I don't know that we have any particular openings, but they do occur. you would just simply go to City Hall and explore your opportunities. So again, thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your years of service. Parks Board members.
We have our shirts, so we make sure we get out on the scatter shot.
Need your sunglasses on.
Okay, very good. Okay, thanks again. Appreciate it. Good job.
Okay, council, we do have a consent agenda. I didn't see any items called in, but we'll be voting on those Thursday. And we do have at least one action item for Thursday, and possibly two. The second being the appointment of somebody to take former council member Nora Ellen's place up here on the dais for the next 2.5 years. So that's what we'll be working on. With that, we do have a special meeting after an executive session after this meeting is over. So meeting adjourned.